Okay, so hello guys. So I wanted to make a really quick video over how to do rational, like basic rational equations. I do apologize if I haven't been uploading also because it was Christmas and everything. By the way, Merry Christmas, guys, if y'all did celebrate Christmas. Um, Also, I was very sick with a stomach bug, so that's why I couldn't upload. Um, but so what I'm gonna do in this video is I'm going to solve basic rational equations. Now, we did go over how to actually, um, you know, like add and subtract rational expressions, maybe some basic rational equations, whenever it came to linear function or linear equations disguised as rational equations. And so this is gonna be kind of like a two-part video, um, like a two-part kind of series over, some base. So basically, I'm gonna first do basic rational equations, and then I'll do some more difficult ones in another video. But yes, I wanted to do this because, for those of you that really don't understand how to do some basic ones, I want to show you guys how to do it. So we're going to look at the first one. We have 7 over 2x minus 5 over 3x is equal to 22 over 3. So let me write that down. So we have, go ahead and write it down. So basically, what I want to go ahead and it's kind of like when we were doing um, adding and subtracting. You can subtract this up, but here's the thing: you want to make it so that you can have a common denominator. Okay, so if I look at 2x, 3x, and 3, I know that, so between 3x and 3, I obviously know we can have a common term of 3x, because if I multiply this times 3 times x, right, they can have that common term, or that common, factor, right? But we want to make it so that both of them have, a common term. They all have a common term. So if I look at 2 and 3 itself, I know that my multiples of 2 are going to be 2, 4, 6, 8, dot, dot, dot. And then for 3, I know it's going to be 3, 6, 9, dot, dot, dot. So looking at the least common denominator, we can say that they have a common term of 6. Now, here's the thing. They also have to have a common term of x, because we're dealing with variables here. So they all have to have a common term of x. There is no way that I can just make, 2x or 3x into just 6. It has to be with the variable. So that's one thing I really want to emphasize, is that when you're doing the common denominator, you want to include the variable, okay? Like literally make it, so that the variable is also, the common term, or the least common denominator, or lowest common denominator, right? So we know that they can all have an x term on it, right? So if I multiply x here and I multiply x over here, I can have 7 over 2x minus 5 over 3x equals 22x over 3x. Now, like I said, they have to have a common term. The common denominator can be 6. So if I set this equal to 6x, right, I can say 7 over 2x minus 5 over 3x, and then Of course, this is equal to 22x over 3x, right? But what I'm trying to say is that they can all have a common term. Like, all of these can be set equal to 6x on the bottom, right? So we can do that for all of these. This is one way of doing it. I will, show you guys the other way. I like doing it the other way better, but let me finish this and then I'll do it the other way. So basically, you're going to go ahead and, so obviously, we know that they all have to have a common term of 6 and then a common term of x. So it'll be 6x like this, right? So all of these are going to be set equal to, on the bottom, to 6x, right? And so to get from 2x to 6x, we multiply times 3. So what you do on the bottom, you do to the top. 7 times 3 is 21. And then 3x to 6x, we did times 2. So 5 times 2, that's going to be 10. And then on this one, we also did times 2, right? So we would do times 2 over here. So this would be 44x, right? So then we're left with this kind of new equation, right? So we can say 21 over 6x minus 10 over 6x is equal to 44x over 6x. And now you see that they all have the same denominator. And when they all have the same denominator, you can set the top equal to each other. So really, 21 minus 10 is equal to 44x. And so then what you can do is you subtract 21 and 10, right? And so you're left with, what is it, 11 equals 44x. And then you're going to divide both sides by 44. And then this will give you, so you reduce the fraction. So 11 over 11 times 4, you get 1/4 as your answer. And of course you can check it, right? For these, so since there can only be one answer, I mean, it just, most of the time you would have to check it, especially for the tougher ones. We are going to go ahead and check it, so let's just go ahead and check it. So 7 over 2, and we said x was 1/4, right? So let me go ahead and just write this stuff down. So we're going to go ahead and plug it in. So we have 7 over 2 times 1/4, and then minus 5 over 3 times 1/4, and then this is equal to 22 over 3, right? So then we're going to go ahead and just simplify this, right? So this simplifies to 7 over 2/4 minus 5 over 3/4 equals 22 over 3. And so, of course, this is 7 over 1/2 minus 5 over 3/4 equals 22 over 3. And if you guys don't know how to divide like this, it's basically 7 divided by 1/2 minus 5 divided by 3/4 equals 22 over 3. And so we have 7 times 2 minus 5 times 4/3 equals 22 over 3. So then, you kind of switch it, right? And so then this becomes 14 minus 20 over 3 equals 22 over 3. You subtract these fractions, so it would be 42 minus 20 over 3 equals 22 over 3. And so you get 22 over 3 is equal to 22 over 3. So this works, right? So your solution is x equals 1/4. There's another way to do this. Honestly, so what you would do is you can literally go ahead and just do cross multiplication. I usually like to do cross multiplication a lot just because it saves me time. So if you guys don't know what that is, I really recommend that you learn it because it saves you a lot of time when you're adding and subtracting fractions like this. So this is 7 times 3x, so it's 21x, and then minus 5 times 2x, so minus 10x, and then over, and this is 6x squared, right? And then this is equal to 22 over 3. So then all you really have to do here is factor out an x, right? So then this would be x, or actually no, my bad. You would subtract these two, so 11x over 6x squared equals 22 over 3, and then this would be 11x over 6 times x equals 22 over 3, and so this would cancel out, right? So then this would be 11 over 6x equals 22 over 3, so then this would be 33 equals 22 times 6, that's 132, I think. Yeah. 33 equals 132x, and so then you would divide by 132 on both sides, and so 33 over 132, if you divide this by 11, I think, right? I think that's what you divide it by. This would be 3 over 12, and then if you divide it again, this would be 1/4. So your answer is x equals 1/4, right? That's another way to do it, and it's the faster way, in my opinion. But you can take any method, right, that works for you. And so I really want to go over this because, I know I'm going a little bit slowly, or if I'm going too fast, I do apologize. But yeah, so these are pretty long because you have to check it and everything, but they're not as difficult as the ones that I will do in the next video. So then number 2 says 2 over 3x plus 1 over 6 equals 4 over 3x. This one is pretty simple. All you really have to do here is, because if you notice, these two have the same denominator, so you don't really have to do anything with this here. All you really have to do, you don't have to do anything with the left side. All you really have to do is subtract 2 over 3x on both sides, and this will give you, this would give you 1 over 6 equals 2 over 3x, and then you would do cross multiplication, right? So 3x times 1 is, so times 1 is 2 times 6, right? And so this would be 3x equals 12, and then divide by 3, and you would get x is equal to 4. So it's pretty simple, and of course if you check it, 2 over 3 times 4, right? So you would check it. So you would do 2 over 3 times 4 plus 1 over 6 equals 4 over 3 times 4. Like this. And so if you think about it, this can cancel out, right? if you remember from basic algebra, a over a times b is just 1 over b, really, because you can cancel that out, right? So this would be 2 over 12 plus 1 over 6 equals 1/3. And you would reduce this fraction here. So it would be, I think it's 1 over 6 divided by 2 on both, on top and bottom, be 1 over 6 plus 1 over 6 equals 1/3. So that's what this would be, right? And then this is 2 over 6 equals 1/3. If you do this, you have 2 times 3 equals 1 times 6, so 6 is equal to 6. And you know that's correct, right? So your solution is x equals 4. I'm trying to go a little bit faster, guys, because this is pretty basic. However, if you guys are confused, let me know, and I can do a much slower video and with less problems, right? So let me see. Number 3 says 3/2 plus 1 over x equals 2, right? So now, like I said, we want to make sure that we get the common denominator. Now here's the thing. 2 itself can be rewritten as 2 over 1, right? So we can rewrite this, especially this part here, as 3 over 2 plus 1 over x is equal to 2 over 1. This is really the same thing, right? They're both the same thing. Oops. And so basically what you're going to do here is you're going to go ahead and, so again, you can use cross multiplication or you can get the common denominator. Like I said, cross multiplication will save you a lot of time. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and do 3 times x, so 3 times x, and then plus, and then I have 1 times 2, right? So 1 times 2, and then all over, and then I'm going to do 2 times x, right? So 2x on the bottom, right? And this is equal to 2 over 1, right? So then what you're going to do is you're going to go ahead and simplify this. So you have 3x plus 2 over 2x, right? So 3x plus 2 over 2x equals 2 over 1, right? So then you make them equal to each other. Or, I'm sorry, you do cross multiplication, right? So 3x plus 2 times 1, so we have 3x plus 2 times 1 is equal to, is equal to, and we're going to do 2 times 2x, right? So 2 times 2x. So this would be 3x plus 2 equals 4x, and all you have to do is subtract 3x on both sides, and you get x equals 2, right? And again, you can check it, so let me go ahead and do it off camera. So as you can see, this works, right? We end up with the same solution, 2 equals 2. We end up with the same thing on both, on the left and right side. So we can say that our solution is x equals 2, right? There's a reason why I'm going fast on these guys. They're very simple. So yeah. So then there was the next one. 4 over x plus 3 over 5 equals 29 over 5x. 4 over x plus 3 over 5 equals 29 over 5x. So then, like I said, you want to make sure that you do, so 4 times 5, right? 4 times 5 plus, and then you do, so this is what this part is. And then you would do 3 times x, so 3 times x. And so then you would go ahead and just do over 5x, right? So this part is 3 times x, and then on the bottom you would do 5x. So then this would be 29 over 5x. And as you can see, they have the same denominator, right? They literally have the same exact denominator, right? So you can go ahead and set the top equal to each other. So you have 4 times 5 plus 3 times x equals 29. And this would be 20 plus 3x equals 29. And you would subtract 20 on both sides. And you would end up with 3x is equal to 9. And then finally divide both sides by 3. And you would get that x is equal to 3. Right? And of course, you would then check it. So this would be 4. So it'd be 4 over 3. So 4 over 3. 4 over 3. Right? Because we're checking x equals 3. Right? And our equation again was 4 over x plus 3/5 plus 3/5 is 29 over 5x, right? Over 5x, right? So then you would do 4 over 3 plus 3 over 5 equals 29 over 5 times 3, right? So you would then do 20, so 20 plus 3 times 3, which is 9, over the 2 on the bottom multiplied, so 3 times 5 is 15, and then you would get, this is 29 over 15. So then 20 plus 9 is 29, and then 29 over 15 is 29 over 15, right? So this works. So your solution is x equals 3, right? And then finally, let's see, I think, hold on one second. We have one more. Now this one is a little bit trickier. Actually, never mind, I don't think it is, excuse me. So we have 2 over x plus 4 over 5x, so 2 over x plus 4 over 5x is equal to 3 over 2x squared. 3 over 2x squared, right? So this is number 5, I think. Yes. So here we're going to do the same thing. So again, cross multiplication, so 2 times 5x, right? So like this. And then plus 4 times x, right? So 4 times x. So this would be like this, right? And then all over these two multiplied, so 5x times x. And this is equal to 3 over 2x squared. Now this one, let me see, hold on. So we have 10x, right? So 10x plus 4x over 5x squared equals 3 over 2x squared, right? So then we would say 14x over 5x squared equals 3 over 2x squared. So then you have to get rid of that x, right? So you have 14. So let's do 14x like this over 5 times x, right? So, and this is equal to 3 over 2x squared. So then this cancels out. We have 14 over 5x equals 3 over 2x squared. We can do cross multiplication, right? So we have 14 times 2x squared, which is 28x squared, is equal to 5x times 3, which is 15x, right? So let me do it this way. 28x squared is equal to 15x. And so if we go ahead and subtract 15x on both sides, we have, so we're going to do that. So then this becomes 28x squared minus 15x equals 0. Now, we can go ahead and factor out an x. So x times 28x minus 15 equals 0. And so then what you would do is you would go ahead and say x equals 0 or 28x minus 15 equals 0. And so then you would add 15 to both sides here, and you would go ahead and say 28x equals 15, and then finally divide both sides by 28, and then you would get x equals 15 over 28. Now, we want to make sure and check it. So we have, so x equals 28, or I'm sorry, 15 over 28. Or let's do x equals 0 first. So x equals 0. So check x equals 0, and we're going to rewrite it 2 over x, and then plus 4 over 5x is equal to 3 over 2x squared, right? So 2x squared, and we're going to go ahead and plug in x, or plug in x equals 0. So we have 2 over 0 plus 4 over 5 times 0 is equal to 3 over 2 times 0 squared. Now, before we move further, notice that you cannot have undefined at all. If your solution gives you something undefined, then it is extraneous. So x equals 0 cannot work because this is undefined. So that means that x equals 0 is extraneous, meaning that it is not a solution. Okay, so So then we're going to go ahead and check 15 over 28. Now, like the other problem, we're going to have to do kind of some complex fractions. So I'm going to go ahead and rewrite this. So now we're going to do x equals 15 over 28. So let me go ahead and just rewrite it. So then we're going to have 2 over, and we have 15 over 28, and then plus 4 over 5 times 15 over 28, and then we have 3 over 2 times 15 over 28 quantity squared. This one is a little bit long to check. So honestly, I would use a calculator to evaluate this. 2 over 15 over 28. So this is going to be 56 over 15, and then plus, and then I'm going to do 4 over 5 times 15 over 28. And then, and so then that would be 112 over 75. And then this one here, so this is what this would be. And then that's equal to 3 over 2 times 15 over 28 squared. And we're going to check if it's true, right? So we have 392 over 75. And so if we add these two together with a calculator, I mean, you can do it by hand, but it would take me longer. 56 over 15 plus 112 over 75. That would be 392 over 25, or I'm sorry, 75. So this is 392 over 75, which is equal to 392 over 75. So really, your solution, so this one satisfies the equation, right? So then your solution would be x equals 15 over 28. So solution would be x equals 15 over 28, right? So that is how you do these problems, guys. If I went a little bit fast, I do apologize. I just think that because, you know, these are pretty simple. All you really have to do is just know how to add and subtract fractions and know how to really manipulate, like, add and subtract rational expressions and all that good stuff. These are very simple because they don't even have they have a monomial on the bottom. So they're really not that difficult, but if you do have trouble with it, please let me know. If this didn't make sense, please let me know. And with that being said, guys, thank you so much for watching. And in the next video, I will do a little bit more complicated ones. But yeah, so please like, comment, and or subscribe. And I will see you guys in the next video. Bye, guys.